Good morning, traders. It's Tuesday, January 3rd, the first trading day of the new year. I have high expectations. I think we're going to do some great things. Those of you that made it through last year, you're in a great position to really knock the cover off the ball. Friday, we released a new version of Option Stalker Pro. It included a new indicator called LRSI. That is the Laguerre RSI. And the Laguerre formula transforms the RSI, which RSI, to be quite honest, it's gotten kind of a bad rap around here because everyone confuses relative strength in our sense, meaning that we're measuring the stock's performance relative to the S&P 500. That has incredible value. What RSI does is it measures the stock's strength relative to itself. And so you'll oftentimes see overbought readings that would normally signal a sell, but the stock continues to go higher. So right here, you can have an RSI that shows you, yes, this is grossly overbought, but look, the stock continues to go higher and higher. So overbought does not mean short. So the way that I use RSI is I would set the time period for 2 periods, and then I would be looking for sequential lower highs in the indicator, and that would tell me that the move is starting to get exhausted. So let's look at how I've used it in the past, and then we'll look at the traditional RSI, and then we'll look at the LRSI. So when I look at a chart like this is Boeing, could be any chart, and I start to see this big dip down in RSI2, and I use a value of 90 on the upside, very extreme reading, and a value of 10 on the downside, and I'm only looking at 2 periods. So it's going to be extremely price sensitive. But when it can't get down below this 10 level, I know that support is starting to form and that it might start heading the other way. And that's exactly what happens right in here. It tells me that yes, the stock might finally be ready to get going higher. And now we start seeing readings above 90 in here. Well, when the stock can't quite get back above that 90 reading on the next spike right in here, I know that it's starting to get tired and it might be ready to roll over. And we're also starting to see it get back down to the 10 level. So this move is starting to crown. That's how I have used it in the past. I'll put up the traditional RSI with the traditional settings. So I'm just going to right click and remove it. It'll be easier for me to do that and then to just add RSI because I'll be able to show you if you ever want to edit a study. I'm going to go into all studies. I'm going to go down to RSI and we're going to add it and I'll show you how. So it'll instantly go to the default settings. If I want to change RSI, I can click on it and now I can right click and now I can edit the series and there are all my variables that I can change. So this is where I would go and change that period to 2 and then I would change this 30 to a 10 and the color to black. So in any event, let's take a look at the old RSI and you can see how right in here RSI is starting to find support. It's above this lower band, which is 30, and it starts to grind higher, and then now it starts to move higher. Well, the LRSI uses a smoothing formula. There are 3 event formulas. There are 4 event formulas. We went with a 4 event formula when we coded this. And what it does is it gets to this upper band more quickly and it gets to this lower band more quickly. And this gives us very good price confirmation because we can see it instantly. And when it reaches these extremes, it tends to flatten out. So versus the normal RSI, and you can see how it's grinding, but it's chopping its way higher. It's not giving you a definite signal. So let's take a look at LRSI. You can see how when Boeing was down here near the low, it stayed below this 20 level, which is what I use for LRSI. I also prefer to use a gamma of 0.7. That means that it is less sensitive. It is going to stay below this level and it's not going to pop around as much, which is good because the market is very herky-jerky and you got lots of head fakes. So I want to see these nice, rigid, stubborn movements from one extreme to the other. So here, stay short, 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 short. Oh, here we got a move above 20. So this is where I can start looking for strength in the underlying stock. Now, it's not perfect. There's no indicator that's perfect. And you can see how the price is starting to lift off here. And now it pulls back and actually makes a lower low. Uh-oh. But eventually, from this 20 cross to this 80 cross, once the stock has been able to get through this point, it stays, LRSI stays above that 80 reading all the way into here. So it's very easy to hold this position. And now we get across below 80. This would tell you that, hey, I need to start watching for a possible drop in the underlying stock. So from here down below 20, that would be a bearish signal. If you wanted to, you could just wait for these extreme readings. Below 20 is bearish. Above 80 is bullish. And look, if you did that, it's really nice. Cross back below, take profits. I'm planning on making this indicator into a method that will allow you to take profits when the move is starting to stall out, and also to enter trades when the momentum is starting to build, because that's where you want to be in. You want to be in on those sweet spots. So I'm looking to add this as a new feature to the platform. Kudos to Dave Wise for many things. He introduced me to the indicator. He just said it's something he uses. So I went and I started to investigate it. And I thought, yeah, I really like this relative to RSI because there's not as much interpretation and it will be much easier for people to use. So instead of looking for lower highs and those readings below 90 as a sign that the stock might be able to might be faltering, here it's concrete. It's like, okay, we're in, we're long. Okay, here we're short and we're going to stay short until that pops back above 20. So I love it for that reason. And it's so easy to get head faked out of stocks. In fact, that's similar to what Dave does with the Heikin Ashi as well. When you see these candles, this keeps you in the position. Okay, you're not head faked in and out of it. So there you start to see some resistance, and you get another move higher. Now you're seeing some confirmed resistance with some flat top red candles. Okay, time to get out. Here you've got your move lower, and yes, here even with HA, you'd be seeing some nice flat bottom greens in here. The point being, yes, you could combine both of these as well. So you've got this nice reading here, you got your flat bottom greens. Okay, we can go higher. Sticky, no head fakes. This is what keeps you in positions. I know a lot of you are anxious to take profits and you take them too early. This will help you avoid that problem. So look for us to do some pretty unique things with LRSI. And I want to, first I'm going to remove this. So we'll take this study off so that we can take a look at it. And I want to take a look at some other stocks so that you know that this is not just a one-off fluke. And we'll see how it did for XOM. XOM, you'd be short in here. Nice move lower. Now all of a sudden you get across here. You could get long here, or you could wait till this point. This would be a much safer play. And anytime, and we had this question before, you know, when should I get into this trade based on this technical reading? Well, if you get in early, then you have a chance to make more money, but you also have a chance of getting head fake, just like I showed you in Boeing. when it first crossed 20, it actually made a new low, a lower low. So you would have had to weather that storm. Ultimately, it was right. In this case, yeah, it picked that bottom beautifully. So you would have made more money on the trade entering there. But this is where you have price confirmation. That's the meat of the move that you want to take. And now all of a sudden we're starting to see it falter. So there you would take profits on your position. You would be short in here, out here. So short here, out here. Didn't really lose money. So you're in the trade. You had a chance to make money. You didn't lose money. This is very choppy, and you can see that in the price action. So not something that we would want to be following. This is going nowhere either. And this is just part of reading price action. This is choppy back and forth. If I'm in here, where's this stock going to go? Is it going to go here or is it going to go here? Either. It could do either. So I don't want to be trading this. I need to wait for breakouts or breakdowns. Now I know that there's weakness in the underlying stock. We'll take a look at a couple more. There you have JPM, cross above 80 right in here. Really nice follow through. Get out here. Couple more. Good entry in here. This is nice. This is stable. And let's see if we've got anything else that we recognize. Dell. Let's see what Dell did. So here you've got a nice cross above 20. He had one right in here too. Like I said, if you buy that cross, you're going to take some heat on this because the move is not quite underway. Now you've got that nice move right here above 80. Excellent. And you're out right in here. So that's a nice little gain from here to here. That's how LRSI is used. You can use it in conjunction with other variables. I am going to be adding it to custom search. So we'll be able to look for LRSI crosses, and I'll have all those settings configured. I'm likely to use a 0.7 gamma, and I'm likely to use a reading above 80 because I want to make sure that those moves are confirmed and that we're not getting head faked out by these early crosses above 20. So just to review this, when you're above 80 and you cross below 80, this is where the sell would begin. And you would continue in that sell until you cross back above 20. Now, on a bullish trade, you would look for a cross above 20 and you would stay in it until it crosses back below 80. That would be a bullish cycle, if you will. What I suggest doing is to wait for it to be below 20 or above 80. That will give you the clearest signal. It will be confirmed. So, new indicator. I hope you all like it. We'll see you in the chat room. Thank you for watching this YouTube video. I'm Pete Stolzers, and I'm going to keep the trade ideas coming along with lots of education. So make sure to subscribe to the channel and please turn on your notifications so that you never miss another trade. If you like the content, please give it a thumbs up. I've loaded 2 other videos that I think you're really going to enjoy. Stay tuned. We'll see you soon.